Hi guys, I've got to do a bit of self-promotion. Not something I'm usually very good at, but hats and merchandise. We still have plenty of them in stock. Now this probably is the last chance to get them before Christmas if you're interested, but we've got them available in both colours of hats. And we've also got stubby holders and key rings, so check it out on our website. The link will be in the description. So anyway guys, back to the main video. Well, hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today is a wet day. It's just been drizzling for a little while. I think a little bit further out west it's been hammering down fairly well all night. Today is the 28th of November. We've got Dad I don't know, he's just ferreting around with his little tractor.
I got to give it a little start every now and then because I just love the way she ticks over.
So before you do, now we've got to clarify, you're not restoring this, are you?
No.
No, Dad doesn't like restoring things. He just likes things running nicely, smoothly, and being useful.
Well, the reason is, see that switch there? That's an old switch. Like I don't know, that's off.
That's like a wall switch, isn't it?
Yeah, a wall switch in a house. But like, if someone looks at this little tractor, they'll say, "Oh, when I was a kid, I remember my dad taking one off the house and putting on there." There's so many stories in a tractor like this that make up what it is, and I reckon if you paint them all over and make them look like new, you lose the stories. And to me, I like the story more than, you know, just looking at a shiny bit of paint. And so but everyone's different, aren't they? Like,
and you probably don't have the patience to.
I do not have the patience, but I get a real buzz out of getting them going, you know,
yeah,
and making them practical. I don't want to be able to work this. I want to be able to go out in the wet, and because they're really good in the mud, aren't they?
Yeah, if you put your rain jacket on.
But anyway, I'm still waiting on my bits for the thermostat housing.
Yeah, so we've got no coolant, radiator, any of that. So doesn't get run for very long when you do run it, because you probably shouldn't be running it without water, eh?
It's got a little bit of water just around the water pump seal, but that's it. And so I'm just going to try it now and see if it'll start without a little bit of brake cleaner. It's good just to help it, and then it'll go all day. But it might go this morning without any help.
Well, it wasn't overly cold, so we'll see how it goes. Just needs a little help.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did? Oh, you didn't even pull the trigger?
I was about to squirt it.
Oh, right.
And it didn't.
No. Well, someone commented that you need a diesel one. You need a diesel one now.
There's an enormous amount of power in this.
What, 10?
28 horsepower. Jamie's motorbike's got 50 something.
Yeah.
And the old plug leads off the little laser over the back there.
Yeah, he raided some plug leads off an old car out the back. And actually, this has still got a generator on it, not an alternator. It's still got the old generator with the regulator under the fuel tank there. And I tested that just yesterday. Oh, when was it? Yesterday, I think. Oh, and yeah, it's still charging. So it's like that's quite funny. Like, very rarely do one of these sit around for a while and then the generator still charges. So usually they all get converted to alternators. Anyway,
I'm really looking forward to just
tinkering
it up. Yeah.
Well, don't forget your camera, your linkage. Yeah. Need a little 4-foot slasher for it.
Got to get a little drawbar for it.
Oh yeah. We should be able to find one of them somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after that minor distraction, yeah, Dad's we've got to put this radiator in the ute. He's taken it up to Gundy and to get that fixed again. Now this is the one that was. What happened? It got a new core. We put a brand new core in it before harvest. This is off the yellow truck.
And the thermo fan, whatever you call it, the viscous fan was failing. So we bolted the two parts together so it was locked up. And then one of the bolts broke. Yeah, one of the bolts
anyway, so not a pleasant situation, but yeah, so then the bolt broke and then worked its way into the radiator and chewed all that up. But just kind of caught it enough, and we put a little bit of stop leak in it, and it held for us to be able to finish harvest. So not, again, not ideal, but it did hold. So that's probably going to have to go and get another core put on, or what are they going to do?
No, he's going to just going to solder up the edge where they burred, and he's very confident he'll be able to fix it.
Yeah, good. Because that's it's always the way. You give something a bit of love, and then something like this happens. But anyway, that'll be good. I guess I better put the camera down and help lift.
Can you lift with one hand, can you?
No, better not. My physio says that's not a good idea. So the other thing going on is this dear old forklift here. We have had brake issues with it, and yeah, so that has been all pulled apart. They're a pain to get to. Johnny and Josiah were doing that yesterday, and yeah, there was a big valve, not a valve, a big tank thing, something. I didn't even catch exactly what was going on, but we've taken that somewhere to get repaired, so that this will just sit here for a little while until that's done, and then hopefully we can have brakes, because this was living down in the ports of Melbourne, so yeah, very exposed to seawater and all of that, so there are quite a few things that are a bit corroded and not so great. I mean, you can see here it's pitted and all that, but that's a thick bit of steel, won't matter. But yeah, when you start getting into the brake things and that, where moisture can get in and couldn't get out, the salty air, it just tends to make a bit of a mess. It's not the greatest. So what's other news? You might ask why I'm the only one here. Well, Phil's away for a couple of days, just having a bit of a break. Brad was going to be on the dozer today, but I think there's been a heap of rain where he was going to be dozering, so he's ducked to town to grab a couple of parts. One of those parts is the ute here, his ute. We need a tie rod end for that, and we've also got the WeedIt we're working on. We had to weld up quite a few cracks in the pivot points and things like that, and put new bushes in, I think, for that pivot. And I've got a bearing issue on the other wheel, so I've got to pull that wheel apart and sort that out. So anyway, we'll see how we go. So these are not meant to sound like that. So I've just started to pull off. I had to pull off the other bracket that goes on here, and then I've already started, but you got to unwind that collar there, and then I think that's the locking collar. Then you unwind that one as well, and then the shaft should all go out that way. Then I should be able to get to the bearings and hopefully find numbers that make sense and get some from town. So that's the plan with that. Righto, that's the culprit. There is fresh grease in there, but maybe a bit of mud got in there and destroyed a bearing, I suspect. Icky. This hasn't disintegrated, which is a good start. should be the same bearing. So, now I do have a nice fang dangle light on my GoPro now. See if that helps. So we've got, yeah, doesn't look too bad in there. There's still a fair bit of fresh grease, but it obviously just starved a bit on the on that outer bearing. So I'll hit out the cone, which is what the taper bearing, the taper roller bearing sits in, and get numbers, and then can't do much until we get bearings and seals, but shouldn't be too bad of a job, I don't think. Righto folks, it's been a few hours actually. The sun's shining now. Brad's back.
I'm back
from his sabbatical this morning. Went to town. You don't go to town much, do you?
No, learn about
Cotton. It's a bit different from 25 years ago, eh?
It's wrecked my gasometer. That's 22.
Told me to get 24 and
Jolly. I'm slipping, guys.
That's what D11s do to you. You all your sizes for your spanners get mucked up. But anyway, so yes, Brad got the bearings in the WeedIt wheel there, all done, and we're just fitting it up now. I was distracted. I might show you in a little bit what I was distracted with. Very much not related to farming. So I was doing a little bit of work on Dad's Caravan, so I might quickly show you once we get this together. Well, we're just going to check the other bearing because it got all done up and then it didn't properly get checked, so we'll just whip that off quickly, check that one. But other than that, yeah, just a few odds and ends to tidy up, but it's all looking pretty good. As promised, I will show you what I got distracted about. Probably very boring for some, but what I have done is I fit this little monitor here, and that tells you your battery, your state of charges on your battery, so how much they are percentage wise, all of that, so you can see how many amps are going in, how many amps going out, etc, etc. So that's yeah, that's a nice little unit there. And yeah, I had to just run the wiring. That's pretty much the only bit of wiring you can see because you cannot pull these cabinets off. So basically with Caravans they seem to put all the wiring in and then build the rest of the Caravan, so unfortunately that's as good a job as I could do. And then I also fit a little fan there because we're going to upgrade the charger in here to a 80 amp charger, which is a big charger, so it'll get quite warm in that little box there. So I've got a little fan and I've got a little module here. I've just sprayed some lacquer on that so it's just drying there, but that module there you can adjust the temperature at when that fan kicks in, so you can set it at like 40 degrees Celsius or whatever, and yeah, that way it'll ventilate that box. So anyway, that's what I got distracted with. So it is the end of the day, so we'll see what's happening tomorrow. Morning everybody. We're back here at the main farm and I'm just making my way through to what I'm currently working on at the minute, which is the WeedIt. We did have a bit of an issue with the Ramsey valve here which was leaking, so I've just already started pulling that apart before I grab the camera, but basically you just got a heap of bolts there. They go through and clamp down on all of that, and then this here we can see got some holes in there that aren't meant to be there, so that is what I've got to replace. Make sure there's nothing in here. And yeah, so that will, basically what this does is it means you can maintain pressure, but it's not dependent on flow. So you can have either, just because with the camera sprayer here, obviously there's only a few nozzles working at once, they're all turning on and off, so it means that you can maintain the same pressure, so your nozzles work correctly, but your flow can change dramatically. So that's how it sort of works. It kind of, I think, just progresses. So you've got air going in on one side, which is the bottom side, and it sort of matches your pressure that you want for your boom to be, your liquid pressure, and yeah, it pushes on this valve, which means that it slowly restricts, because you've got multiple holes, so when that rubber bladder pushes up against this, the more pressure that's pushing up against it, the more holes are blocked. So that's how it can maintain pressure and independent of flow. So that's a very, very poorly described way that works, but anyway, what we've got is we've also got I've got to pull this apart as well, because it was leaking out here as well. So this bladder here is stuffed as well, I'd say. So we'll give it a birthday. We're probably going to be hopefully spraying tomorrow with this on the cotton country. So yeah, we haven't had a lot of rain in the last couple of days, so it is drying out. So we're just hanging tight, waiting to be able to plant the cotton. So we don't have a planter for it, so we've got to either rely on a neighbour's planter or yeah, some contractor or whatever, depending whatever works, to plant the cotton. So that's the plan at this stage, but we do have to do a couple of sprays before that happens. And yeah, but anyway, I'll keep trying to pull this apart and we'll see what we find. Right, well, we got that all bolted together. Can't do it up too tight, so I've only just sort of nipped them up, and I'll get the pressure running through it and just see if there's any little leaks or whatever, but should be a lot better than what come out of it. So I'm going to jump up here, fire it up, see if there's any leaks, but after this I think it should be ready to go. I already checked all the nozzles, made sure all of the solenoids are working, so yeah, it's looking good. It's just started to sprinkle rain out there. I don't think there's much in it though, but right. Right. So I got it at about 3 bar there, which is usually what we run it at. Might be a slight air leak, but no water leak. So that is good. Excellent. Oh, it's all looking good. It's a little bit wet, a little bit windy, so I'm going to duck for cover here. Well, everybody, I think we're going to have some lunch, and then after that we might just take the WeedIt down to the other property where the cotton's going to go in, so get that ready for tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, we do actually have a little spray meeting to go to. So So Brad and I are probably going to go to that, talking about spray drift and all of that. I dare say we'll learn a fair bit there, but that's going to be the plan for today, I think. Maybe we'll just get some wise words, get a bit of sign off from Dad and Rusty. Hey Rusty? Rusty's gone for his adventure, hey? What are you cruising around in your little machine? I got the mail.
Got the mail. Some of it's for me. In the back there's a steering wheel for the old Chamberlain.
Oh yeah. That's been, what, how many years in the making?
1964.
It's the original steering wheel it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
And what's this one, just aftermarket
Okay.
thing?
And I've got everything's right except for the taper. The taper on the
shaft.
So I've got
to modify.
modify it.
Got to do a Brad.
So the knife needs to sharpen it.
They really wrap that pretty good, I'd say.
There's a little shower of rain. Righto. Pull that off.
That is tight, isn't it? Looks pretty good.
Look at that. So I've just got to modify that. Got to modify that taper. So I reckon we can fit her in the lathe.
Do we want to put power steering on it?
No.
So if anyone's wondering, it's the old tractor, the 9G Chamberlain, that is usually on the fuel trailer.
The 6G was before the 9G, and the 6G stands for 6 gears, and the 9G stands for 9 gears.
They're the ones that you could do, what, 65 Ks?
27 mile an hour.
Whatever that is.
At 2,000 revs, I think, and if you got 2,100 revs out of them. No, that
About
might have been 21. That's 2,100. So
I thought they could do over 50 Ks.
It's pretty close, but ours has got the smaller front wheel assist tyres on it because they were
cheaper. Back in when times were tough.
They were tough too.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Well, that's another Dad's project. Are you going to start going through all the old tractors?
Oh, I might.
You work on the, what, 4480? Is that old enough yet? No, too many bad memories.
Too many bad memories. Too many 16-hour days on that one.
Well, it had air conditioning back then, though.
Yeah.
Most days.
Well, yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, that was the first.
I remember it working when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But not long after, so it probably hasn't worked for 20 years.
Well, then we got the 555 in 1987, and then the Chamberlain then became the second tractor.
Backup tractor.
And then we got that John Deere 4840 second hand.
Didn't have that one for long, did we?
No, and then we traded that in on the blue 89, 70 that got burnt.
That burnt, and then that got replaced by that tractor, the 280 Versatile.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's a brief history lesson at the end of this video for you. Righto.
Yeah.
You got any other wise words?
Oh no.
Is that about it?
We've seen the Fergie, haven't we?
Yeah, yep. No, Dad's still tinkering away on his little Fergie. So if anyone's got some little Grey Fergies they want to get rid of, anyway guys, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Just remember to hit the like button if you do, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. Also guys, we've got merchandise on our website, so the link will be in the description. We've got hats, we've got key rings, and we've got stubby holders, so go and check them out.